And now, Giant Sports Talk Live. Here are your hosts, Eric and Glenn.
All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Giant Sports Talk Live, where the Giants pull out another win and a series win against the Detroit Tigers with a score of 3-1. You're at the game today, Glenn. Looked like Logan Webb had a hell of a game today, didn't he?
Eric, another great day at the ball yard. As I say, I got too much sun. Robert DeVille was there. We had a great time. He met me before the game out in the center field confines, if you will, out at the Giant Coke bottle. And I think Robert had a great time. He had a great time. And you know what? The fans were into it. We can perhaps a little bit later on in the show get Robert DeVille to join us. He'll briefly give you his synopsis. But it was a great day at the ball yard. It was a perfect weather day. The fans were into it. You know something? I said, we'll have a special guest coming up. I've got him in the green room, Eric. And what I said to him, he goes, oh, yeah, same thing in New York City. Fans love winning baseball, and they seem to today at Oracle Park.
Hey, we're right off the rip. Stephen J says, Glenn, give us a home run call with that booming voice.
Oh, not yet. You know, I'm saving that for a night when we don't have a lot to talk about. We'll do the voices.
Okay,
you know
okay. It'll come eventually,
that.
Stephen. It'll eventually come. What's up, Carter? I see out there. What's up, Grand Admiral? Good to see. Hey, real quick, as Glenn was talking about meeting up with Robbie DeVille, they take a nice photo. There you go. Look at that. You got Glenn over there with Robbie DeVille. That's great, man. That's awesome. That is awesome.
Sexy guys, right there.
It was a beautiful day out there today, wasn't it?
Oh, wasn't it? He took the train over and he was there early. We met out. You know the outfield area where the Coke bottle is, the glove, and then we headed over to our seats. And he was texting me during the game. The camaraderie was there. Everybody was in a good mood. Yastrzemski was 2 for 4 today, Eric. Do you want to bring up the stats? Or
let's do that. As a matter of fact, exactly. We could talk about the ceremony a little bit later on, but let's get into the stats.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And now, today's Giants in Review on Giant Sports Talk Live.
All right, here we go. Right off the top, you got the Giants, like I said, off the top. They win 3-1 over the Detroit Tigers. Logan Webb with his 10th win. Dropped his ERA to 3.3, which is nice. That kid Herter, man, he was actually throwing the ball pretty good, wasn't he? Wasn't too bad for Detroit. I think it was his second outing
by any stretch. 3-1 was not a 3-1. What really wasn't indicative of the game, Eric. The Giants were hitting the ball, but again, I don't know what the total was for runners in scoring position, but they were leaving some ducks in the pond again today, Eric.
2 for 12.
At one point, we had the bases loaded in the first inning. Bases loaded and nobody out.
Yeah, I
couldn't
know.
get a run in.
That's tough.
That's
going to be a problem. I mean, don't get me wrong. I absolutely love the win. That you want to see the Giants win, but they got to hit with those runners in scoring position. You can't keep doing that because when you start playing these better teams, you're not going to get away with just scoring those 3 runs. There's other teams that will be going out there and putting up more runs on the board when you play the better teams. All right, right off the top, you got – look at that. How about that? Today, I guess it was a bullpen game, so I guess it didn't matter the handedness of the pitcher because the Detroit was doing a bullpen. But you had Fitzgerald lead off. You had Ramos hitting second. Conforto third. Chapman batting cleanup. Bailey was fifth. Kenna was sixth. Yastrzemski was seventh. Encarnacion in the 8th slot. And then, of course, Wisely was in the 9th. But, had a little bit more hits today. 2 more hits than they had yesterday. But Ramos had the key RBI. And most importantly, Brett Wisely had a key double there. What was that what inning was that? 6th or 7th, somewhere around there?
He drove in Yastrzemski and my old pal, Gerard Encarnacion.
Yes. And that was a nice play by Yastrzemski, right? Maybe you could speak more to it because it was just a line drive into left field and he had he got on his horse. And he forced them to make a good throw. They didn't make a good throw, and then Encarnacion was able to get into second base, which set up Wisely's double. I mean, that's kind of how the Giants were able to go ahead and stay ahead. They had 3 hits. And with those 3 hits, they're able to knock in 2, which was that part of the game was nice.
His bat still does not reflect any kind of leadership in that lineup, but Brett Wisely had the 2-run double in the 5th inning, powered the Giants to the 3-1 win over Detroit. As Eric mentioned off the top, we automatically have won the series. That's the most important thing. We said down.
That's the most important thing. Yes.
Got to win each and every series. Now we get a chance at another sweep going up against a team that we're fighting for a playoff spot against. That's Atlanta coming in on Monday. Another team we're looking to catch in the wild card standings. Never too early. And it's always fun to talk about the standings, Eric. In the wild card, the Mets continue to lead the Giants. They're playing tonight. It's Seattle 3 and the Mets no score.
Yep. We'll see what happens. Yeah. Before we get into that, how about we do this? Webb, beautiful game. 7 innings pitched, only allowed 4 runs, only 1 walk, 8 strikeouts, man. The guy had it today, and the bullpen came in. Walker got a little bit weird. What were you thinking when Walker came in to close the game out?
I didn't know what to think, Eric. He certainly he didn't mow them down. It's the usual case with our bullpen.
Very Doval-like, wasn't it?
It really was. But Mr. Rogers' neighborhood, it's always fun when they either Tyler or Taylor come into the game, and the pitching was good behind Logan Webb in that game. But the closing, my goodness. So I don't know what they're going to do, Eric. Walker we could easily have given up some runs there in the 9th inning.
Yeah, he could have.
I don't know what you thought. You were watching the game. I was there.
Yeah, I was
Tyler Rogers, I thought, Tyler is a workhorse, man. That guy comes in, it seems, almost every day.
I hope they don't wear him out. I'm just a little bit concerned. Maybe he won't. Maybe he will. I don't know. We'll find out more when it comes to towards the end of the season.
Yeah, but as far as Ryan Walker, I wouldn't say he slammed the door by any stretch of the imagination. But a win's a win. We pick up another one. If you want to quickly, or at least maybe I can, I'll take a look at the wild card standings in the National League. Right now, the San Francisco Giants find themselves a game and a half out. The Mets, Eric, are losing.
Oh, boy.
3-0 for the Seattle Mariners. So let's not waste any time. Tommy D.
And now, another special guest appearance on Giant Sports Talk Live.
Whoop. There you go.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Good, Tom. What's up, man?
Hey, Tom.
Hey, man. It's past 11 here on the East Coast. It's great to talk to you guys again. The trade deadline seems like months ago, but it was only like a week and a half ago. So it's great to be on your show again. Thanks for having me.
You bet, Tom. Right. Awesome.
Well, I told Tom that right off the bat on the show tonight, we'd be talking about the Giants and the Mets. And, of course, the big story now, and everybody's into it, is the wild card. So I know you touched on this during the trade deadline show, Tom. You did a great job, by the way. We appreciate you coming in on that busy day for not only us, but it must have been hectic for you on the East Coast with so many teams to cover.
Absolutely.
But, I appreciate it. But the Mets, they were calling the Mets kind of down and out 2 months ago. The season was over. Now I'm calling them the Miracle Mets. What transpired to turn this whole season around for this team that looked like they were just a fledgling down and out club?
Well, the Mets have been the best team pretty much in the majors for the last 2 months. Since June 3rd, they've gone on this ridiculous run. And right now, as we were just talking about, I'm looking at the wild card standings like you guys are. And the Mets are losing. I have that on my one monitor. They're losing 3-0 in the top of the 6th inning at Seattle. So I'm monitoring that right now with you guys, because if the Mets lose, they lose a half game, and then Atlanta is tied with them. And you guys have Atlanta going to be playing Atlanta soon, so these teams are really going to beat each other up. And how they do is Detroit is one thing, but once you get teams that you're battling for the wild card, every game counts. This isn't figure skating. This isn't Olympic gymnastics. This is just win. It doesn't matter if you win 1-0 or 10-9 in extra innings. Just get the job done. And if you got to go to a bullpen game, so be it. So I'm looking at the Mets 61-55 as we speak. Braves 60-55. Giants 61-58. I mean, that's a game and a half total. Oh, and by the way, St. Louis is a half game behind the Giants. Mm-hmm. So, and the Chicago Cubs aren't that far behind. They're 3.5 behind the Mets. So every game counts in every series. And those games when the Braves come in, it's going to be like an NFL type situation where, you only have 16 games in the NFL, and you have 162 in Major League Baseball. But it's going to be those games, the Atlanta Giants games. I'm going to be watching very closely. And also, when we get into the last month, you're going to have the intra-division games. So you have the Mets playing the Braves, playing the Phillies, playing the Marlins. All those divisional games are going to count. And hey, San Francisco may be the beneficiary of it. And San Francisco can help their own cause too, because, hey, the Padres and the Diamondbacks aren't that far ahead of them. So, yes, the Giants do need help, but more importantly, I think they'll have their destiny in their own hands because they're going to play the Padres a lot in September. They're going to play the Diamondbacks in September, and they could take care of the Braves right now. So business, as you guys emphasize, take care of Detroit, get the sweep, move another half game up, and by the time this time tomorrow, the Giants could be in that final wild card slot or a half game or game out, depending upon how the other game sorted out. So, guys, I'm so excited. It's just incredible. Just trying to keep up with all this.
I've been telling Eric the last 3 or 4 days. I said Tom had give me a little earworm last week. He said, "You wait till September when all these teams are playing each other. It's like a spider web all over the, like a CSI. The string is here and over here and matching up teams. And all you can do is take care of your own business and let the rest play out. Got to win your games. Don't worry at that point what the other clubs are doing."
I kind of like what Tom was saying too, because you're in this time of the season. We're here now, almost in middle of August. You're going to get close to September. It's all about the win, and you do whatever you can to try to get that win. Even if it's ugly, I guess, hey, it's a win, right? That's what you're saying. Right. Exactly. And it's going to be interesting because, the Giants, it seems like they're playing these sub 500 teams. It seems like they're just scratching and clawing. Granted, they're getting the wins, and that's important. So hopefully, they could start putting something together where they're just kind of slamming the door. I'd like to see a win without a doubt type of win. But hey, again, this time of the season, if you could get a win, man, you'll take it. And you make up a great point because, after tomorrow's game, you've got the 4-game set. It's a 4-game set against the Braves, and that's going to be huge. That's going to be big as far as, what the Giants can do.
If the Giants can take 3 or 4 against the Braves, that's just going to catapult them even higher. Even a split, but the Giants cannot afford to be swept or lose 3 out of 4. They have to at least break even to keep their head above water. But that's just the key. That's just the key of the game. And it's a great time to play the Tigers. The Tigers are like 8 games under 500. They're 55-63. So the schedule may break the Giants' way. And we also got to look at weather situation because here in the East Coast, we've been hit with the tropical storm. So, for example, the Yankee game last night got rained out. So they played 2 to game. Everything started good. WNBA star Caitlin Clark was in the Bronx. Mm-hmm. She's a big fan of Aaron Judge. She was there throughout the first pitch. She's wearing the Yankee jersey. This is something I read on Sportskeeda earlier tonight, and I shared it with Glenn. And so here's the thing: we got all these different, how sports cross over. You have pro wrestlers going, you have basketball players, you name it, you got football players, they love baseball, and it's the national pastime. So they'll come out, throw the first pitch. Sometimes they just go there as fans and sit in the box. Sometimes you'll see them in the stands interacting with the fans. You just never know who's going to show up, and it's exciting. Now, so the good news for the Yankees won the first game today, but the bad news is lost the second game. And what that did is that cost the Yankees first place in the AL East. So Baltimore is 70-48, and the Yankees are 69-49, 1 game back. So that makeup day, when you guys get to, as we get later in the season, for example, if the Yankees were on the regular rotation, didn't have the rain out yesterday because of the tropical storm, they probably would have won last night. And then today, it's a whole different game, the regularly scheduled game. And that's where those little differences rest injuries, and you want to avoid the long. I'll never forget the Mets about 10 years ago. They were playing like these ridiculous, several of them. They had multiple, like 15, 20 plus inning games. And then as you notice, as the season went on, guys just got injured because the body is not used to it. The body is used to playing a 9-inning game. Okay, maybe 10 on occasion. But you cannot go, you're asking these athletes, even though they're great and they're well conditioned, you could only stress them so much. So we have September call-ups coming. Yeah, sure. But you want to go with your core guys. You want to go with your stars. So,
well, Tommy's over in New York City. You're in the, I don't know if you call it the war room. You've got monitors for the other games that are still going on. The last report was 3-0 Seattle. So I got a question for you. Comes sort of from one of our viewers in the chat room. They say, the only winning team the Giants have played after the All-Star break is the Los Angeles Dodgers, where the Giants only went 1 win and lost 3. If you can beat up on these teams, make up some ground, if not catch the wild card spot, put yourself solely up into that echelon, do you think at this time of the season, Tom, even if you're playing teams that are sub 500, a winning culture goes a long way?
Absolutely. You have to beat the teams who your record is what it says it is. And so if you have Detroit, they're 8 games under 500. You have to beat them at least 2 out of 3, preferably 3 out of 3. You got to sweep them. Okay, Atlanta, that's going to be harder because they're 5 games above 500. But you have to at least split, preferably win 3 out of 4, or the best case scenario, sweep them. But at this time of year, you just have to take advantage of the schedule because, hey, the Giants, had they played these lesser teams earlier in the season, would probably have a better record. So it's now time to make that hay and put it in the barn, as the colloquialism goes, Yeah. So.
Well, we got quite a race going on. The New York Mets, they've certainly turned around their season. No doubt about it, Tom.
Yeah, it's great. I mean,
a question to that. You have a former Giant in that rotation in Sean Manaea. He's kind of been a revelation in New York, man. He's throwing the ball really well. I think today, I don't think it's not that great. I think he's given up 3 runs, but all in all, he's actually had a fantastic season with the Mets.
Yeah, it's really hard. I just think that winning culture that you guys talk about, and they were in the season pretty much left for dead by early June. They were left for dead, but go on this like ridiculous 41-14 tear leading up to the All-Star break, up to the trade deadline. Best team in the majors, and they keep that momentum going. And I learned this a long time ago, is if you're the winning pitcher and you give the ball to the other guy, say, hey, nobody wants to be the guy to drop the baton.
Right,
so
that makes sense.
Everybody's going to give their little extra. And that's what may have happened in this case. The Giants weren't doing well early on, but got in a new situation, and here you go. It happens.
Yeah, and you're not necessarily, people will say, oh, we're going to play all these winning teams. You cannot look at our roster from earlier in the year against winning teams. We're not the same ball club. Jung-Hoo Lee is gone. Encarnacion is in. This is a whole different roster, Eric, than we've been covering for a season. Tom, you got to win with who's on the field any given day, too.
Exactly. And, compared to other sports, baseball has the most volatility. You think about basketball. Okay, you have a 12-man roster, but you're realistically every night playing 8 to 10 guys, really 7, 8 on a regular basis. And there are not that many. There are trades. There are blockbuster trades in the NBA, but they don't happen as often as they do in baseball. Also, you don't have a waiver type situation. I mean, you do have, players get waived, but that's mostly for salary cap and other reasons. But if you're a team and they're monitoring 24/7, like I'm sure the Giants have their guys, they're over at the ballpark and they're monitoring it 24/7. They'll monitor who's getting waived, who can we pick up, who do we have the rights to pick up, they're also looking at, hey, who can I bring in from the minor leagues? In NFL, you might get, okay, if you get a guy that's injured, you might have a guy on the reserve squad, but nothing like where you could basically take, 3-4 guys from AAA, or if a guy's, going crazy in AA and give them a shot in September, and that gives you a whole new lifeblood. When you go from 25 to 40 guys, that doesn't happen in other sports. Yeah, you pick up a few guys here and there, but nothing like baseball. So that's the hard thing to predict about baseball is everybody says, I get these alerts saying, hey, bet baseball. Are you kidding me? I go crazy. I don't have any hair left, okay, as it is. So why should I bet baseball? Because, hey, it depends upon the starting pitcher. And what if the guy had a bad night, was out the night before? I had the honor of meeting David Wells years ago. And, when he threw his perfect game, he was hungover, just happened to be lucky. And but there's just so many different things. And listen, if a guy makes an error, you could be pitching great, but if a guy makes an error, that could change not only a game, but it can affect a series and even a season. That's how random baseball is. But that's the beauty of it.
Eric?
Absolutely. Hey, since you're following the Mets, I know we're going to get ready. We're getting close to September where we're going to have the extra. It's kind of crazy. They only have 2 call-ups now, which is weird. So you go from 26 to 28. Is there anyone in the Mets minor leagues that may get that shot for that call-up in September? Anyone we should be keeping an eye on?
Not at the moment. Not at the moment.
Okay.
Not at the moment. But if I do see a guy, I will let you guys know.
Right on. That's fantastic.
Scoreboard update. No change in the score. Seattle is leading the New York Mets 3-0. Sean Manaea, as you mentioned, he only went 3 innings, Eric. Tom gave up 4 hits and gave up the 3 all earned in that game. He struck out 3, but bottom line is he only went 3 tonight. It's a West Coast game, different time zone. You're playing on the road. And that's another thing about guys who say, well, the team doesn't win on the road.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of teams lose on the road. It's called home field advantage.
Yep.
Absolutely.
All right, Tommy's over in New York City. The Yankees, the Mets. You got, as you mentioned earlier, Tom, this is a magical time of the year to be on the other coast. You've got NFL preseason games have kicked off. Yep. The NBA will be here before you know it. Hockey will be back on the frozen pond. Baseball playoffs are underway. What am I missing, Eric? You got the WNBA. I saw the highlights earlier this evening. You had Caitlin Clark over there. She was wearing the New York Yankees. She wanted to meet Aaron Judge, and she finally, I guess when you're Caitlin, you meet whoever you want. But she met Judge today. So looks like it's a lot of fun to be covering Mets, Yankees, all the sports for you, Tom.
And also, just don't forget, today was the finals for the men's Olympics in basketball.
Yeah.
And so Team USA pulled that off. So congratulations to Team USA. France won the silver. Serbia won the bronze. So it's a great time of year, special years. The ladies, good luck to Team USA tomorrow in the gold medals game. And they've been just invincible over the years. The men had a hiccup back in 2004.
Tom, a lot of people saying they are up against a tough France team tomorrow.
Well, you make a great point. And today's French team did push USA. And Wembanyama, he played great. Look, this kid's only 20 years old. But he's going up against LeBron, who is almost twice his age. LeBron will be turning 40 in December, and Wembanyama is only 20 years old. And he was the leader of this team. You think, okay, hey, maybe it's Rudy Gobert or Ntilikina or some of these other guys. But, hey, Wembanyama, if you got a 7'4" guy that can go 3 from 8, that's 37.5% from three-point land. It's guys like him and Jokic and other players, Luka Doncic for Dallas, international players who are changing the game. You would never see a guy of a similar size, let's say Shaquille O'Neal, back in the day. You would never see him take a 3 unless it was like the shot clock was about to go off or the game was, out of reach either way. You would just never see that. But now these international players are hitting the long range. And I'm talking guys who are 7 feet and taller. It's just an incredible time to be in sports and to be in live. There's just so many great things going on. But, like you guys, baseball's the best. I'm from the Cooperstown area originally. So, so that's the cradle of baseball. So it's just a great time.
That up. Glad you brought that up, Tom. I've never been to Cooperstown. We have talked about it off air. You and I have gotten together many times to talk sports. Yes. And my wife is like, "See you tomorrow," because you and I remember the first time we met was kind of happen chance. Did you know, Tom, that or Eric? Tom and I met in the Dominican Republic of all places. We somehow started talking about a radio station in New York City. And 3 hours later, they were kind of peeling us apart. The show is over. You guys got to get out of here. And Tommy and I just were talking sports and talking about callers who call into the sports radio shows. And Tom, we took it every direction imaginable.
Absolutely. Doris, God rest her soul. She was one of the great legendary WFAN callers. And, she would call in. And that's one of the great things is, okay, New York City has 8.4 million people in the city, but the metro area is 20 million people. And then you got people, because of WFAN has just such a huge, base and signal. And now with the internet, it's all over the country and all over the world. So people are calling in, they're able to follow your New York sports team, and you become like a family. So, there might be, Doris with the Mets and fans from other sports. And you kind of just get to know them when they call in and say, hey, I recognize that guy and stuff like that. And whatever other differences you have in your life, sports brings us together, and that's magical. There's very few things. Maybe music is right up there, but other things, no.
Anybody who likes sports, you want to check out this book, WFAN. They were the launch of sports radio as we know it in this country. And they said, and guys in the business, Eric, said, it'll never work. And lo and behold, it did. They've had their ups and downs, Tom, but WFAN still brings the quality. They've had Don Imus in the morning, Mike and the Mad Dog, Eric. Chris Russo, our old buddy and a San Francisco Giant fan. He was part of that team. Doris, and who made the cover? Who made the cover? Doris from Rego Park. She was synonymous. And I grew up with Steve Summers, schmoozing, SBORTS.
Yep,
and
absolutely.
Joey Beningo, who graduated from the Connecticut School of Broadcasting. They changed my life when it came to talking sports.
Absolutely. And I had the honor of meeting Mad Dog back in 2011. So we spoke a little baseball, then we're talking tennis, and he could talk any sport. He's just a great guy. The energy and enthusiasm of what he and Mike Francesa did, just laying the groundwork. Imagine this. Okay, the Giants left New York back in the 50s, but you still have a guy on the leading and pioneering sports talk radio station, being a San Francisco Giants fan, who are 3 hours behind most folks in the East. Hey, it's 11:31 right now. I'm getting ready for bed, but he's still holding the torch for the Giants. And there's still a few Dodgers fans out there. But imagine that they're able to, the New York fans loved him so much. They said, oh, okay, hey, you like the Giants? That's cool. Giants are a great team. Giants are great. Tradition obviously can't root for the Dodgers, God forbid. That's just almost as bad as rooting for the Red Sox.
Oh, my gosh.
But, let's not go, so, and then, we're going to have break down one night the whole, Ohtani thing and stuff like that, the $700 million and the gambling with his agent. That could be a whole show on that.
Oh boy,
all the shenanigans there. I don't know if I broke open a can of worms, but I'm not the biggest Dodgers fan.
It's been talked about. It's been talked about.
Yeah.
Hey, Tom, are we going to get you back on the show real soon?
Absolutely. Love to be back with you guys, and we'll be in touch. I've been just busy with work stuff, but love being on the show, and thanks for having me.
Awesome, Tom.
Welcome.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Have a great night. Listen, good luck to the Giants, except against the Mets and the Yankees. But I'm rooting for you guys, especially against the Dodgers. You'll see me out in full force. Rooting against the Dodgers.
There you go.
Day of the week and twice on Sunday.
Well, it's one thing the three of us got in common. A lot of guys in the chat. All right. Thanks, Tom.
Thanks, guys.
Take it easy, Tom.
Tom's out of here. And what a great guest he always is. I kind of envy him covering so many teams. If he's not at the Mets game, he's over at Yankee Stadium, or he's at Giants or Jets practice. He's over, and he was a little dark there. He was in the war room watching stuff, and he goes, just before we went to air, he goes, I've been watching sports in the room here on like nine video boards. He says, anybody who's gone to Vegas, you ever seen the big video boards? They got
where they got stuff everywhere.
That's what I'm doing. I'm sitting in a room and they've got me watch. He goes, imagine they've got me sitting in a room watching sports and I get paid to do this, Glenn. I'm like, oh,
nice.
Come on. Want to check the out of town scoreboard, Eric?
Yeah, let's do it.
And now, a Giant Sports Talk Live scoreboard update.
All right, here we go. Let me refresh it just to make sure we're all up to date here. Right off the top, end of the 8th, Dodgers up on the Pirates 4-0. I can't remember who took the mound today for. No, you know why? Because we didn't do a damn morning show. So I have no idea who was pitching for the Dodgers and the Pirates.
Starting in that game was River Ryan.
Ooh, that's right. He left early. That's right.
And he went up, hell of a pitching matchup. River Ryan and Paul Skeens.
Ooh, so the Dodgers got to Paul. Did they get to Paul Skeens or did they get to the bullpen?
Paul Skeens, through the first 6, gave up 6 hits and 4 runs, all earned.
Wow.
Let's see, gave up a home run in that game.
Thanks, Mark.
He gave up a home run in the game, and it was hit by Hernandez of the
Teoscar
Hernandez. On the West Coast, Mariners, they have a 3-0 lead on the Mets. We've been keeping an eye on that one since it got the start of the program earlier in the hour. Hard to believe with their 36-minute mark of the show already, Eric. And again, thanks to Tommy D who joined us. We're following the Mets, as is he. And right now, the Mets are down. And that's good news. Great news for the Giants. 3-0
yes, it is.
Up north.
And we got a final in the Bronx. Yankees over the Rangers 8-0. Another home run by Jazz Chisholm Jr. He's looks like he's energized that club a little bit. I think he likes being a Yankee. Let's see what happens with Jazz. And is he going to be a free agent next year? I think he's a free agent next year, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think there's any control on him. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. But they took it to the Rangers, beating them 8-0.
You see, the A's are up in Canada. They played at the Rogers Center, and in the 6th inning, Brent Rooker went deep, the only run in the game, and Blue Jay bats looked like Giants bats today.
Look at that. They only had 2 hits.
2-hit performance for the Blue Jays. That's not going to get it done, and that's why the A's from the East Bay, even though they were up in Canada, were able to win 1-0.
And there's the Tigers and the Giants. We talked a little bit. We'll get more into it here after the out-of-town scoreboard. Yeah. Astros over the Red Sox again. I think they beat them last night too. So Astros beat the Red Sox 5-4. Look at that. Yordan Alvarez, the big lefty, goes yard twice. Let's see. Houston's starting to maybe pick it up a little bit here. We'll see what happens. Wait, where's the Mariners? They're 61-56. They're 61-55. But if the Mariners hold on, I think they'll be above the Astros.
Well, you gotta thank the Marlins, Eric, for trying. They had the
thanks, Mike.
They had the tying run in the 8th inning. Miami did against San Diego. They went to the 10th inning today, and Arise had the RBI ground out in the 10th inning. It lifted the Padres to a 9-8 win, and that's how that one finished up today. 9-8, the final. And coming in from the bullpen was Tanner Scott for the save to mop things up.
Man, they just don't lose right now. Padres, man.
Another reason why the Giants have got to take care of business, Eric. And, teams like this are hot. Let's see if they falter.
Exactly. The second game, because as Tom was talking about, they have a doubleheader. Rangers lay it on the Yankees 9-4, busted out with 16 hits, one of them being a 3-run home run by Corey Seager.
The Nationals, they were a winner today. They beat the L.A. Angels, Eric. Jose Tena's walk-off single, and that propelled Washington to the victory. So they've gotten back to their winning ways.
They have. They've won 2 in a row.
The Giants. So Let's go Giants. You knocked off Nationals, even though they're picking up where they left off with some wins. So
yeah, how about that?
Yes. Mark Graves says, was Glenn at the game today? I was, and I got too much sun sitting on the first base line today where, of course, I met with Robert. So we'll talk about that later on as well. Now, we have got the Reds and the Brewers, another tightly contested one, Eric.
Yeah, in Milwaukee. Look at that. Another 1-0 score over here, just like it was with the A's and Toronto. Not many hits, only 3 hits for the Reds, 2 hits for the Brewers, but one of those 2 hits scored a run. So there you go. That's all it took for the Brewers to beat the Reds. They win 1-0.
That's what the song says. Just one look. That's all it took. And today, Eric, the Guardians 2-1 over the Minnesota Twins. I'm really excited to see what happened in the other games. You get the Cubs. I think they won. Baltimore was playing. Philly, did they keep their winning ways?
Arizona.
Cards and Royals.
Yep. Man, look at that. Another low-scoring game with that one, too. A lot of low-scoring games. Usually you see some inflated scores during this time, but a lot of one-run games here and not very many runs scored. But yeah, Royals.
Always a great day for baseball in Kansas City. What happened?
Look at that. Cardinals, that's the team we want to lose, and they lost today. Royals took it to the Cardinals 8-3. Look at that. Salvi Perez still has it, man. That is something. He's special, man, as far as being able to play as long as he has as a catcher. I don't know. Is he catching as much or is he more of a DH now? That is one question I'm not sure of.
All righty. Baltimore Orioles, they posted a 7-5 win over the Rays. Ryan Mountcastle drove in 3 as the AL East leading Orioles, as Tom mentioned during his tidbits with us. They are now the leaders in the East, the Orioles. They beat the Rays 7-5.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think Jackson Holiday had another home run, his 4th home run in 6 games, if I'm not mistaken.
And I don't even know why you mentioned the White Sox, Eric. They're starting another 21 gamer, I guess.
Man, I tell you, oh yeah, there you go. Cubs over the White Sox. Chicago over Chicago. Except they were in the South Side, right? They're in the South side. Cubs beat the White Sox 3-1 again. Cubs, right behind the Giants. So Giants better keep their winning ways. Otherwise, you got some clubs behind you that are they're creeping.
You know what, Eric? Good teams aren't going to lose forever. And today we had the Atlanta Braves in Colorado. Braves posted the 11-8 victory, 11 runs on 11 hits. And that's another team, Atlanta, we're getting ready to face Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. 4-game series over the block away from me at Oracle Park.
That's going to be a good series. That's going to be a really good series because we're starting to get into some meaningful games now, and that's going to be a lot of fun.
Jorge Soler comes back to town. And what happened today with the Phillies and Diamondbacks?
Yeah, how about that? And by the way, that is a typical Colorado game, 11-8. That is typical in Colorado. But yes, look at that. Diamondbacks. Whoo! Boy, they didn't mess around. They put up 11 runs to the Phillies 1. I saw a clip, though. I don't know what the outcome was. It looks like Marte got tangled up at second base when a guy was sliding in. I don't know if it twisted his ankle or something. It didn't look good. I don't know what the prognosis is. Maybe someone in the chat could figure that out as we go along with the show. But yeah, that was something. 11-1. How about that? And that's a team, again, just like the Padres, They are playing some really good baseball right now.
64-53. So that leads us to the portion of the broadcast. And every Saturday night, we're on for an hour, so we got to squeeze everything in the next 19 minutes or so. Let's take a look at the wild card, shall we, Eric? Where
let's do it.
Giants sit just a game and a half out, pending the outcome of the Mets score.
Is there an update on that by chance? I didn't take a look.
You should ask. I have the game in front of me. I know, actually, Tom is, Tom, are you still sticking around? Let's see if we've got an update. Tom is following the,
yes.
No, Tommy's not there. Is Tom there?
No,
Tom?
I'm here. I was just about to wrap it up.
I see him over there. Tom, it's now, I believe, 4-0 for Seattle.
Yep.
4-0, and they've got a couple of, let's see. They've gone through a couple of bullpen pitchers. So it's 4-0 Seattle. Seattle still has a couple of runners on base in the seventh.
Bottom of the seventh. Yep, bottom of the seventh, 2 out, 2-1 count.
There you go. Do we get any more than that? That's why we love having Tom on the show. Thanks, Tom.
Thanks, guys. Have a great night.
You bet.
Hey,
you too, Tom.
Tom's just hanging out he loves the coverage and keeping an eye on things with us. So he's got, I guess he's got less games on the big board to watch now, Eric.
Yeah, a lot of the games have gone final. There's only a few. Is it only that one? I think it's, or no, the LA game, or did that finally go final?
Just within the last 30 seconds. Final.
Okay,
Dodgers 4 and the Pittsburgh Pirates 1. So it's a 4-1 final score that game tonight in Los Angeles.
All right. Well, it looks like the Giants may go only one game behind, if the Mets lose, if I'm not mistaken, and the Braves would go ahead, right? Braves would occupy that third spot if the Mets lose, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Going to be interesting. Going to be interesting.
Here we got the Giants a game and a half out at 61-58, entering the final tomorrow with the Detroit Tigers. And Eric, similar when we talk about the White Sox, some of the other teams of that ilk in Major League Baseball. Boy, when I was sitting today at Oracle Park and I needed a scorecard to keep track of who was who in that Detroit roster, other than maybe the Austin Meadows, not a lot there. So they are primed for the picking tomorrow again and a series sweep for the Giants.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, we got a bunch of teams there. You got the Cardinals right behind the Giants, Chicago Cubs not that far behind, and then, of course, you got the Pirates and the Reds that are still in it. So it's going to be interesting. We keep talking about it every day. It's going to be scoreboard watching from here on out, just for the simple fact that the wild card race is going to be incredible here in the NL. No doubt about it. It should be a lot of fun.
Is Robert in the chat tonight? Did you see my old buddy?
I saw him earlier. I think he might still be
there. Put out the link and see if Robert joins us. He said he'd come on and talk about what he thought of the game today.
All righty.
And I told him, he says, you think I could come on the show after today's game? I go, Robert, you're part of, there's Robert.
There's Robert. There's the link,
part
buddy.
Of the family now. And
there's the link.
Although Robert had better seats than I did today. I was a little jealous of Robert. He says, where are you sitting? I said, see that tiny little sign way up there? He goes, yeah. He goes, oh, I'm over there by like the on deck circle. I'm like, oh, you guys. So, Robert, how'd you enjoy the game, buddy? Hey, Robert!
Hey, look at that.
Store. We shop in the same store. It was shirt giveaway day today. And I got an extra bucket hat that fits like a 3-year-old, but I had to wear it to cover the ball. Look, I don't know if you can tell how much sun I got today, Eric.
Oh, I got a lot of sun.
I'm burnt. What'd you think, Robert?
Oh, it was a great game for them. I mean, they played their, they had good defense. Chapman really did good at third. The pitching came around when it did. Webb did his thing. And then Walker came in.
Hey, absolutely. Robert, I'm glad you brought that up. Eric, you watched the game. I don't know if TV did it justice when you had a couple of plays, middle of the game. I can't remember the inning. The defense we saw today was magnificent.
Yeah, it was absolutely. I mean, especially Matt Chapman over there on third base. Holy
Chapman
crap,
picked,
man.
spun, calmly, boom to first.
And how about that reach?
Yeah, I mean,
that could have changed the entire complex of the game.
Yeah,
that could have had runners on second. That might actually scored a run, and then had a guy on second or third base. Yeah, that was
very much so.
Well, we're getting the hitting, we're getting the defense. You know what else we're getting, Eric, that I saw today when I was over at the ballpark? We're getting to see all the components of baseball that this team has not used. We had a steal of second and a steal of third. Shades of L.A. de la Cruz from Fitzgerald.
That's why he's dynamic
all season long, Eric.
That's why he's dynamic, because he could steal that base.
Brings excitement. You get him on base. You got to keep an eye on him. He stole second. He stole third. We didn't get him in. That's no fault of his. We had the what'd you think, Robert? Bases loaded, first inning, and I was like, oh, here we go again.
Yeah, same here. I was just like, oh no.
Yeah, that's kind of typical. And then Giants again, they were what were they? 2-12 today, I think, in runners in scoring position. Again, they got it done. They got it done. Hey, Gilbert, what's up, man? Good to see you out there, man. Haven't seen you in the chat.
What they're starting to do is Modus and the structures, they're starting the worker guys, the Rovers, they're starting to work with these the young talent that it's going to lighten them up. Like you saw today, I think they're working on their defense. They're working on getting in the ballpark early and getting the work done so they can make great plays to save the team.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You going to be there tomorrow, Robert, or am I flying solo?
You're going to fly solo because that ticket was too high.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah. I told him. I said you were sitting down in the a la carte seats when I was up in the. I was closer to the sun. I think that's why I got so much. I got a burn today. I'm going to get into the aloe after the show.
Yeah, and it was nice to see Bumgarner and Posey, and it was nice to see Bochy.
Wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I thought it was a great speech by Mad Bum.
Oh, it was a great speech.
Great reception.
And then afterwards, when they were getting him out of there, it was a long haul. I was the lead blocker, Glenn.
I bet. Eric, they love the guy. Mad Bum. He's going to go down as one of the greatest ever.
Oh, no doubt. What'd you think of the crowd? It didn't look like there wasn't as many people as I thought there would be for the union.
Well,
big crowd today. I thought it was
during the ceremony.
Maybe not during the Robert. We had a decent crowd for the game, though.
Yeah. They're all scattered, going for the food, asking if I work there.
What's up, D-Shot? I see you out there.
Well, you had that jacket on. See, when he's when Robert's at the game, he wears a jacket that is very and you had the I don't know what you call it, the little bag there, and I thought you worked there, for God's sake. He goes, "Are you Glenn?" I'm like, who wants to know? Am I not allowed to stand here or something? I'm waiting for Robert. I am Robert.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, it was great. It was great meeting you. We look forward to meeting you, Eric.
Hey, I'm gonna have to get down there.
He asked. He said, "When am I going to see? When am I going to see you and Eric?"
I'm thinking maybe. Are you guys going to go to that Oakland game? Or are you going to go?
I don't think so, because the East Bay Transit is tough.
I'll go.
I bet.
Hey, if Eric and I are there, we expect to see Robert come over.
Maybe we'll have to set something up for that Miami series on that Sunday game. It's an afternoon game, so then I could get back here in time to do our 8:00 show. That might be okay.
And also to let you know that the River Cats won today, but no sign of Duvall in pitching, so I don't know what that means.
All right.
Well, was there a safe situation, or are they just going to throw them out?
It was 6-4.
Thanks for the update.
Ooh, and now that's interesting.
So you may be working on stuff on the side.
Maybe he's working something on the side. Yep. Maybe.
But yeah, I just wanted to let you know. But it was great meeting you, Glenn, and hopefully soon I'll meet with you, Eric.
Yeah, it sounds good, man. Like I said, maybe that Miami series.
Thanks, buddy.
Whatever. Yeah, anytime. Thank you.
Take it easy,
pal. So Robert was kind enough to come over. Oh, he just left. I was going to pop him back in and say, you know how he identified me? Wasn't by my good looks, Eric, or my hair. He goes, geez, you're the only Flores jersey in the entire outfield. So you knew who I was. Hi, Carter. How you doing tonight, buddy?
Hey, guys. It's good to be back.
Carter says, put up or shut up.
It's that time of the year, man. It really is starting.
You watching on the tube today, like a lot of people were?
Yeah, I was just watching it on the TV, having a little alone time, just having a bit of fun. Just eternally frustrated as always with the first inning in particular.
Oh, geez. A lot of people were. There were a lot of oohs and ahs up there after they got the sacks full and couldn't get a run in. I don't know. They had the eye on the ball early. Man, they were drawing the walks. We filled them. Again, Eric, what did you say the stat was? runners in scoring position today. I think
it was
there were
2 for
12 on
12.
the board. Yeah,
2 for 12. Not
that
good.
really doesn't cut it either.
So
We
bad.
won, but boy, we leave opportunities. And I think good kills come when you take advantage of those situations, Eric.
Yeah, you have to, especially when you're going to start playing these better teams, you're going to have to be able to get that done. You have to. You could get away with it with Detroit and Washington in certain situations, but when you start playing some of these better teams, man, you're going to have to get those runs across. You have to.
We're not going to be on that much longer, so let's because you've got a military history chronicle.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to go on here in a little bit.
36, 37 minutes or no. So, Carter, what'd you think of the bullpen today? I was at the game. I thought certainly was no slim pickings for our new closer today.
Yeah, I think that with just to go over the list of the people in the bullpen, I think Rogers was good as usual. I think he took care of his business, and that was important. And yeah, Patty has been really gassed, if I'm going to be totally honest. He has been really pushing himself hard. I think he's been doing a great job as a catcher and running Logan and, all the other guys like Zilla and the rest of that crew. But we're going to have to see how he – his bat improves. I think it will. I don't think Patty's a bad player. I think he's good enough to continue and do well as a hitter, but that was bad. But to get back to the bullpen, like Glenn was talking about, I think with Walker, I think we can give him a little slack in how he allowed a couple people on the base paths. I do think that it was a little nerve-wracking at some points, but I also do think that it is his first time in a really long time actually taking on a closer's role and actually doing that. I don't think he's ever closed in his career, if I'm being honest. But I think he's going to take it on. I think he'll do well, but we'll see how it goes. It was a bit of a shaky day.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because they said that Hicks is supposed to be the closer. That was talked about yesterday. And the thing is Hicks has experience of being a closer. So I don't know why they didn't put him there, for the simple fact Ryan Walker has never closed in his career.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they threw Walker out there. Maybe to soften the blow since it's Detroit and he's not closing against the Braves or the Orioles or some of these other teams that the Giants are going to have to. So maybe they're just getting his feet wet with Detroit. I don't know. Hey, Carter, we're going to have to let you go a little bit early here, man, because we're going to have to get ready to get going here.
All right.
Yeah, we're going to wrap things up, Carter. You're welcome anytime at time constraint. We're going to do a 1-hour show Saturday and Sunday nights, and we had our special. I don't know what you thought, Tom, coming in on the show. He was over in that war room. I don't know about you. I'm so jealous. I keep telling Eric. I mean, like when you cover teams, and he covers them for a living in New York, and he's covering like football, baseball, NCAA football's coming up, NCAA basketball. The guy's got he goes, yeah, I only cover like 17 teams. Jesus. Yeah, I got my hands full with like the A's and the Giants right now.
All right, Carter, man, have a good one.
All right, good seeing y'all. Have a good
night. Tomorrow.
Yeah. Hey, there's
All right, there was Carter.
Well,
Johnny, man, good to see you, buddy.
Johnny,
joining up. Thanks for joining up. Much appreciated. Hopefully you stick around, man. Much appreciated. Ibrahim has a great comment.
Oh,
Bailey is gassed.
You think so?
He's a lot more critical offensively than people think. All went downhill offensively after the Dodgers game where he struck out in a walk-off sac fly situation. Interesting. Boy, that's a good memory there, Ibrahim. Because there is something definitely going on with Bailey. There's no doubt about it. Remember when they talked about in the offseason, he put on some extra weight to compensate for the grind of a 162. But it still looks like he is, as you said, he's gassed. So,
well, one guy who really, I wouldn't use the word criticize, but the guy who never jumps on board is Alive Insurance. Now he's saying, can the Giants make it 5 in a row for the first time all year? Eric, prime opportunity.
It is.
Detroit who? Detroit Tigers? They're not that good.
Speaking of which,
sweep at home.
Who's pitching tomorrow?
All right. The outlook for tomorrow. I don't have it in front of me, Eric. You're going to have to call that up.
Here, I'll find it. I'll find it. I got it right here. Hold on.
Have you got it? I can bring it up.
Let's see, right.
And have it ready.
There. It's going to be. How about I look on Sunday instead of Saturday?
How about Hayden Birdsong on the hill at 3-1 tomorrow up against Kiter Montero,
who is he?
5. See, that's why you need a scorecard when you go to a Giants and Tigers game. I only knew like 2 guys in the entire Detroit roster, Eric.
Okay, this is what I'll tell you what's going to be key in this game. Hayden Birdsong needs to bounce back. because he did not look good in Washington. He looked pretty bad in Washington. So I want to see a bounce back game from Hayden Birdsong because the club is going to rely on him. Him and Harrison are the two starting pitchers that you're going to have to keep an eye on them because the Giants are putting a lot on their shoulders for them to carry them through the rest of the season. So I'm looking to see how Birdsong comes back after having not a very good start. So let's keep an eye on that one.
All right, that's a 1:05 start tomorrow afternoon. I'll be there, and tomorrow night, Eric, you and I will spend our 60 minutes on Sunday night covering Giants baseball, see if they can pick up their 62nd win of the year. I know it sounds like broken record, but here's a team, Eric, that a week ago we were like, geez, can they hit 500? And as each day goes by lately, Eric, we're picking up. Now it's 61 and 58. We could have 62 wins tomorrow night, Eric. I don't want to jinx it.
We could. Here's the thing. You got to pad the wins in August because September is not going to be easy. And please, guys, all I'm asking you is, yes, let's enjoy this right now, right? Let's enjoy this. But let's understand it's going to be hard in September. So bag all your wins here. So then when September comes, you still want to do your thing, but at least you got a little bit of cushion. Johnny says, this is the new place for me. Bring it on, my friends. Great takes right here. Johnny, you're the man. I appreciate that. Yeah, let your friends and your family know. We're Giants 365.
And Johnny will quickly learn that we value our chat members, like a big, happy family reunion every night on Giant Sports Talk Live. If you're new to the show, we're on every evening at 8 p.m. If it's a Giants home game and we're playing an evening game, then we go on usually around pretty much 10 o'clock sharp like we did last night. You can join us for Giant Sports Talk Live, a Northern Lights Entertainment broadcast production each and every morning at 8 o'clock when we get you all geared up for a day of baseball and we preview what's going on for the San Francisco Giants. And on Monday morning, we'll be talking about the weekend series, and we'll be getting ready Monday morning, Eric, for the return of Soler and the Atlanta Braves. I'm looking forward to that.
Awesome. And before we get out of here, let's shout out our sponsors here. Signatures for Soldiers. Check them out, guys. If you go to their website, signatures, 4 soldiers.com. Tim Virgilio, I'll never say it. Tim V. I'm just going to say Tim V has a fantastic organization where he helps disabled vets and vets who are homeless. All his proceeds, what he does is he sells collectibles that are signed with autographs, and any profit that he makes, 100% of all the proceeds goes to a veterans service organization so they can help the veterans in need. Fantastic organization. So take a look at them.
Yeah. And Lefties. Lefties is your home for the greatest sports memorabilia, especially when it comes to the San Francisco Giants. Their next autograph signing and meet and greet is coming up with Tyler Fitzgerald on August 18th. Get your tickets now. Join us on the show Monday. We'll tell you all the details on that, how you can get a ticket to meet and greet, get an autograph, a picture, and have a little chat with Mr. Fitzgerald. And what a player to meet and greet with. One of the hottest young players in baseball. So tomorrow, Eric, who? Kiter Montero. Yeah. Montero at 2-5 for Detroit. And the Giants tomorrow afternoon at 1:05. Send Hayden Birdsong to the hill. 3-1. 63-degree day expected tomorrow. My pick to click tomorrow is Gerard Carsonoon, or whatever you call him. What do you think, Eric?
We'll see. Oh, who is that? Is that Montero kid a righty or a lefty?
He is a right-handed pitcher.
I'm gonna say Conforto. Let's say
you're not going to go with Kinsale. Do you think Kinsale gets a start tomorrow?
Probably. Well, no, because it's a day after day. It might be Bailey.
Yeah, everybody.
It might be Bailey because it's not a day after
we'll
night.
Talk about after we see the roster tomorrow, see how things play out, because a lot of people are saying they're starting to burn out some players. We'll see.
Yeah, but this is the grind. This is part of it, man. You got to strap them on every single day. You got to. The team
to be a big leaguer. You got to come to play. So Detroit, San Francisco. Tomorrow I'm going to be there. I don't think Robert's going to be there, so I might be flying solo over at Oracle Park. My beautiful wife and I will be taking in Giants baseball. Eric, I'll be talking to you in the chat tomorrow from the game, and we'll go live tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. That about does it for Eric and Glenn. We'll see you tomorrow night. If not, we'll see you Monday morning for another Giant Sports Talk Live morning edition. Have a great night. Eric, thanks for this.
Absolutely. And for a shameless plug, 9:30.
Thanks to Tom.
9:30. I will be going live on military.
What are you covering?
Okay, couple of things.
Oh,
the big topic is going to be Admiral David Farragut.
Who?
Yeah, exactly. We're going to talk about him. Again, it's going to be more American Civil War stuff. We're going to get a little bit into the Navy, because I know that was a request. They wanted to talk a little bit about the Navy. So let's get into Daniel Farragut. That should be a good show. You could join me and Will over there here at 9:30. And also, I'm going to touch on what's going on in the Russian-Ukrainian war. Some big things are going on over there. So I'll be diving into that as well. So it should be a good show. If you guys are into that kind of stuff, we'll see you over there at 9:30.
Hey, guys, he's not just good looking. He's a man of many talents. Military History Chronicles coming up in about 28 minutes time right here on your YouTube channel. Johnny, good night. Good night to all. Eric, see you tomorrow night at 8.
Woo!
You've been watching Giant Sports Talk Live with Eric and Glenn, a Northern Lights Entertainment Broadcasting production.